When I was younger, I was that kid who always had something, a migraine, a stomach ache, joint pain, back pain, whatever it was. And one day, a migraine was so bad that it made me black out for the first time. Must have been something like 14. And then it happened over and over again over the next few years. So doctor ran tests. They found nothing, obviously, and just sent me on my way home. And after years of painfully hanging in there, I realized that this wasn't normal at all. Okay, and in fact, that stress had a major role in it if it wasn't the entire root cause of all those problems. Stress is an inherent part of life. You're never going to get rid of it completely, and it's not something that you should seek. But stress was always supposed to be occasional, and now it's everywhere, and that's a problem. If you've heard about chronic stress or toxic stress or whatever they call it these days, it is this constant feeling of tension, of worrying, of inner battle that you feel. Some people also experience a lot of anxiety, but this constant state of stress is the main problem, and a lot of people face it today. And I thought that tense shoulders, the stomach cramps, the aches, the night trouble, having trouble sleeping, all of that was okay and part of human experience. But again, it wasn't. And the worst part about this is that when you've experienced something over and over again, even if it's, a diminished way of functioning, it then becomes your new normal, and then you accept it. And that's where the big problem lies. Most people nowadays are underslept, are tired, are exhausted, are mentally drained, but they're still kind of living this life, accepting those, features. And it's not okay. I want to tell you something. Being tired all the time, functioning at 70% of your capacity, this is not okay. And stress plays a big role in this problem. Some people go even as far as to glorify stress. Okay, in big companies, if you're making all that money, if you're productive, people wear it as a badge of honor as they're able to contain all this tension and still be functioning. That's not something you should be proud of. That's dangerous for your health, dangerous for your mental health, and your life is going to be so much better if you just try and reduce this amount of tension. They hide behind this, camouflage of productivity, but productivity should never have been designed to include stress as a normal part of this system. A lot of stress is okay. It's part of normal life. Don't become over panicky about, I'm stressing about this, I'm stressed about that. The problem is when you realize that this is a constant way of functioning and that you don't have any more control over it, which is the stress that most people unfortunately experience on a daily basis. And that's not okay. I used to think that stress was useful because I could use it as my secret weapon. And especially when I was in college, studying all the time, working one job, and then playing two sports at the same time, trying to juggle in between all those activities. I used to think that stress could give me unlimited amounts of energy, and it works because stress is exactly that. Stress is a state that mobilizes your resources in your body, your mind, so that you can confront and you can have enough material to fight the threat or to flee from it. But all of that backfired rapidly because first I realized that, and I realized that only later, like a few months or even a couple of years after that, that I was struggling a lot with procrastination and low motivation. I was working on tasks at the last minute. I was cramming for my exams at night before, the exam session. And I was heavily reliant on stress. And this is not good. Because if you use stress as your fuel, as your secret weapon, just like I was, then this stress is going to become your source of motivation. And that's a problem because it means that if you're not stressed out of your mind, then you're not going to be productive. You're not going to do the exercise. You're not going to revise your chapter. You're not going to whatever. And using this fuel without recovering properly is going to lead you to burnout. You're going to be facing a wall at some point because your body is only capable of giving you so much energy. And using this motivation that's found in stress, you're going to have to face it eventually. You're probably even facing it. And if your health is deteriorating, if you feel tired, if you feel like you have no motivation, if you feel like you can't get out of bed and that you have to force yourself to do something, it's probably because of this. And for me personally, my joints were exhausted. My performance was falling down in sports. My mood was very low, and my motivation to do anything except, working was dead. Social battery exhausted. And I felt like at some point my body was failing me because I was getting sick all the time and I was tired 24/7. Now, a big problem that is linked a lot to social media, and I speak about this again on this channel, but again, we come back to it because it's essential. I was using distractions, and I thought that distracting myself was a way to recover, a proper, acceptable way to recover. It's not, spoiler. But that's what people did around me. They seemed not to recover properly. All they did was being on their phone, on the computers, playing video games, or going to parties, that kind of stuff, to relax. But that's not how you relax. And I learned that a lot later. That's not how you recuperate either, because it doesn't work like that. All you do is engage in stimulating behaviors because you're drained and your mind doesn't want to do anything. So how you push yourself to enjoy things is to inject dopamine in it. And you've heard about dopamine before, I'm sure. But dopamine is the neurotransmitter that makes you want something, that makes you seek pleasure. But the trick about dopamine is that you don't get it from getting the thing that you thought would bring pleasure. You acquire dopamine and you feel this sensation, this rush of pleasure on your way to getting there. And by stimulating your brain even more and injecting all this dopamine in it, I wasn't unwinding at all. I wasn't recovering, because as long as you're busy doing something that's stimulating, you won't give any time to your own thoughts, to what's happening in your life, to what's happening in your mind, to how you're feeling, to how your body feels physically. And nowadays, distraction is over. You're not gonna learn that from me, but all of these distractions, they prevent us from thinking about our lives and from obtaining perspective, from being able to see what the next step is for us, where we're at in terms of our projects and our life path and whatever. And so it leaves us exactly where we are, and that's it. Stressed, anxious, and without answers, just looking for more and more distractions. Now, if you have one concept to take away from this video, it would be this. You have to understand how the interaction between activation and relaxation works out. It's a balance. The goal, as we said, is not to eliminate stress, because first, it's not possible. And second, it's not something that you want. Otherwise, you're going to be just a legume on the couch, potato, not doing anything. The goal is to balance stress using the appropriate amount of relaxation that comes with it, so that you're rebalancing, recalibrating, the lever. And that applies adding more relaxation, true relaxation into your life, which does not look like sipping margaritas on the beach somewhere, okay? It does not. So the concept goes like this. Human biology doesn't like being in the extreme for too long. So that's when the damage happens, by the way, on your health. And if you're always in that stressed state, that's what you do. You're getting all that pressure, putting all that pressure onto yourself, forcing your body to give you the resources necessary to reply, to answer to that threat. So that's why you're stressed. And so it goes like this. You're stressed all the time and you're never rebalancing it with the relaxation aspect. But what you want is to be somewhere in the middle, so that you can be flexible. You can not suffer from, bad health outcomes since you're stressed out. And to do that, you have to tip the lever onto the other side. And so you have to engage in relaxation. Now, relaxation is not stimulating your brain and accepting that you're recovering. So these activities are, first of all, highly personal, but I can only speak for myself. And so for me, it was walking, doing nothing, sitting, just looking through the window and reading a lot. And all those things at first felt boring, of course, because I was, engaging in all those stimulating experiences. It will help a lot once you find what works for you. It can be coloring, can be painting, can be music, either listening or playing music. All those things have been present for millennia, and that's not a coincidence. It's because it's been helping humans cope with their daily lives for, thousands of years. Now, in those initial moments of awkwardness and kind of boredom, I thought to myself that I must be weak if I needed this much amount of rest and relaxation. it must have meant that my mind and body aren't strong enough to, carry the burden of stress. And that belief, if you're cultivating it, is harmful. And it got me stuck for so long, because it means that your nervous system is always going to be stuck in that activation, hypervigilance mode, in high alert. You're always going to be with the lights on, looking for the next thing that's going to stimulate or threaten your system, which obviously damages your quality of life, your health, your relationships, your career, your choices, everything. So you need to be aware of the fact that you're probably hyper relying on stress, and that's not a good thing if you want to live a peaceful and fulfilling life, because it simply is opposite to the state that you want to be in. If you want optimal health, if you want optimal performance, which is the state of balance, of the point of equilibrium in between relaxation and stress or activation. And being able to know where your stress levels are at and what you need to do to reduce it, aka going through those activities that we spoke about, this is one of the greatest skill I've acquired during the last couple of years. And I'm still working on it, obviously, because it's something that you engage in every day over and over again. You have to repeat the cycle. You have to relearn it every day as you go. But I really wish that through this video, you're going to be able to get parts of this skill, to get some features that are going to help you walk that path of being able to regulate your stress levels effectively, because you're aware of them, first of all, and second of all, because you know how to get away from that hyper vigilant state. So anyway, I hope this helps. Tell me what you thought about this video, and I see you in the next. Trust the process.